America, the melting pot of the world, where dreams come true and anything is possible. Yeah, well, it's not that simple. Yes, the United States of America is a land filled with opportunity and possible wealth, but it also has many flaws. Specifically, the United States has a huge issue with immigration and the process of coming here, then becoming a citizen. Gaining your citizenship in the States takes years, and there are many steps that you have to take before you can even apply.
Firstly, in most cases, a visa is required. Once you've obtained your visa, you can then attempt to get your green card or permanent residency. Then, if you meet all of the various requirements, you can then just apply for your citizenship.
The process takes about 5 years on average, but it can span to as long as 15 years. After an application has been sent, it usually takes around 6 months for them to gain their citizenship. This application process is demanding, to say the least.
To apply, you need to send in an N400 form, which is 20 pages long and requires lots of details and signatures. Along with that, you need to submit any other forms that apply to you, which are indicated on the N400.
You also need to submit photos of yourself, and here's the big hitter, a whopping $725. For most immigrants attempting to make their way into the States, they are coming in order to get an opportunity at wealth. So for just the application, it costs $725 is quite a considerable investment, especially considering that immigrants very often work low-paying and high-labor jobs, which makes the investment of time and money very expensive. However, for most, it is worth it. Becoming a United States citizen is a huge advantage for immigrants who want to make a home in the States. Employers prefer citizens, so it's easier to get a job and provide for your family. You can also get a U.S. passport, and you can help the rest of your family get green cards and become citizens. Not only is it advantageous, but also it prevents you from ever being deported in any way. It acts as protection and a safety net. But don't take it from me, who learned all of this information off the internet. Take it from somebody who has been through this process. Sandro Espinosa was born in Monterrey, Mexico, and moved to the States when he was only 18 years old.
When did you first come to the United States?
October 1994.
All right, and you were 18 years old? All right. Did you come on a visa?
Yeah,
Oh, what kind of visa?
tourist visa.
All right. And how did you get that visa?
Tourist visa?
Yeah.
You apply for it in Mexico in the consulate, in the American consulate in Mexico.
Okay, so you didn't need like a connection into the United States, you just needed to apply and ask for it?
This is just a tourist visa for foreigners to come and visit the United States. Mm-hmm. Now, once I got here, I had 6 months to stay here with that visa. They give you 6 months. And within those 6 months, then I applied because my mom was a resident. Mm-hmm. So then I applied. Once I got here, then I applied to be a resident through my mom.
A permanent resident?
Yeah.
Okay. So then how did you get your green card? Or when did you get your green card?
So I got my green card in 1997. The green card is the last process because you first get a permit. They used to change your visa status from a tourist visa to they just send you a letter saying that you've been approved. You're in the process of getting a permit. So once you have that letter, the first letter, you get a permit to be here. But it's not a visa. You can't leave actually within that process. And this is back I don't know how much it has changed. But you couldn't leave. So I couldn't leave.
Okay.
Within that process. And then I get my permit. Once I got my permit, then after I got my permit, I had a conditional residency. And then after I think 2 years of that, I got my permanent residence, and that was towards the end of 1997, if not 98, maybe early 98. That's when I got my permanent resident card.
Okay.
Permanent resident, that's your permanent resident, but it's like a 3-year process.
So even after you were married to a U.S. citizen, so you had to wait a year afterwards?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That doesn't automatically give you a residency. No, it's a long process, and you have it's a long process. Okay. Now, so being the son, an adult son of a resident, that would have been a 9-year process, because that's how long it took for my sister.
Really?
Yeah, it would have been a 9-year process. And it's usually 9, maybe 10, maybe 11 years. Now, once I got married, then I applied as a married to a citizen, which speeds up the process because you have to provide for your family.
Yeah.
Right? So it speeds up the process, but that still takes, at least 2 years.
Yeah. So then how long after that did you get your citizenship?
You have to be a permanent resident for 5 years before you can apply for citizenship.
Okay. And from the citizenship, like, how was that process? Like, how was the application? Like, the costs, the requirements, and then like the...
So if you don't use an attorney, which I didn't, I just filled out all the paperwork myself. The application fee was $930.
Wow. So then, like, how was I understand there's an interview, right?
Yes.
So how was that? What was that like?
Yeah, so you fill out the application, and of course the application it's pages and pages long, and you have to submit everything. You have to have a super clean record. You cannot have any blemishes, like not even, I had a couple of traffic tickets, speeding tickets, and they kind of frown upon those. But that was it. Then I had an interview. You have an exam, which was super easy. For me, it was super easy. I mean, just because I really liked the history of the U.S. and the government structure. So then it's an interview, and then once you get to an interview, it's still a few months later, then you get called in for SORNA.
And you said that the exam was an easy process for you. That's because you studied the history, because it was interesting to you. To someone else that hadn't studied and wasn't that interested to it, would it have been a difficult test?
I think for a lot of Americans, it's a difficult test. For a lot of Americans, it would be a difficult test. Just because I've been interested in it, so I have watched statistics on if the citizenship test would be presented to high school kids. It was like 50% didn't pass or something like that. And but it's irrelevant, right?
Yeah.
So it's not easy. No, it's not easy. It's not easy. You have to know. You have to know how the government works.
Because of Mr. Espinosa's hunger for knowledge and understanding of the United States' history and politics, the exam and entire application process was a breeze for him. However, his assertion about the exam was correct. According to a survey done by the Woodrow Wilson National Fellowship Foundation, only 36% of modern Americans can complete the naturalization test to passing. You can find out more about this survey in the link down below. This level of difficulty in a citizenship test is unseen in pretty much the rest of the world. The whole process is regarded as one of the toughest on the globe, despite the United States being built and maintained off of the backs of immigrants. Immigrants have been treated poorly in the United States for hundreds of years, whether it's how they are paid, how they are treated in a court of law, or how harshly they are treated in the deportation process. It is always unjust compared to their citizen counterparts. And when immigrants want to enter the country and stay legally with citizenship, it is made as difficult as possible, almost as if to steer them away. For a country that boasts its wealth and possibility for anybody to make it, the United States is awfully guarded. It's time for the United States to walk their talk and open their doors more widely. Having an application process that most American citizens could not complete is unacceptable. Expecting foreigners to know more about a country than its own citizens is ridiculous. That's why change needs to be made. Currently, there are many movements to aid immigrants, whether it is before, during, or after their application process. They could always use some help. For instance, the Northwest Immigrants' Rights Project aims to help protect immigrants in their times of need and provide a safe space for them. Also, La Resistencia is an organization that aims to stop deportations and make the United States more accessible to everyone. I've linked other charities and organizations in the description below so that you can help the movement to make America live up to its title as the land of the free. Thank you for watching.